Time now for some live Q&A brought to you by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and use promo code Cowboys to save 20% off all of their amazing products. Remember how to get on the show, folks. It's to use hashtag Cowboys or to Super Chat. Either way gets you on air. Speaking of a Super Chat, from Bright Wendigo, would love a video with you making a detailed look on the Cowboys cap and your thoughts on where Dallas is getting the most value and where they aren't, and what they could do to maximize it. So that's a great idea, Bright. We'll see if we can make that happen at some point down the road. I will answer kind of generally quickly here. Where you're going to find value is young players who have not yet reached those early contracts. Where you are not going to find value is any recent big money deal. Now, I emphasized recent because as those deals go along, Tyron Smith, for example, at the time, super high paid. Now, super duper cheap. So that's kind of your generalization there. Overall, where you're not finding value, running back. Zeno saying, hope you're doing great. Thank you, my friend. Hope you are doing as well. What was your first job? Everyone in the comments, feel free to throw in what your first job was as well. My first one, I worked at a local library shelving books. I made $10 an hour. Great pay, actually. Thanks, government. Was wildly overpaid for that job. Did not get minimum wage. Don't know why. Sat around doing nothing. So shelving books was my first job. I see quite a few waiters and busboys in there. That makes sense to me, too. All right, from King J, another super chat. Thank you, King. Can we see Jalen become the next Demario Davis under Mike Nolan? I believe he is that kind of talent despite the injury, future All-Pro. I hope so. I hope that you see Jaylon Smith take that next step forward. I would wonder, though, if in terms of like the Demario Davis role, I wonder if Leighton Vander Esch will end up playing that a little bit more in an attempt to get Jaylon Smith blitzing a little bit more often. Now, Demario Davis, since he got under Mike Nolan, by the way, has really emerged into one of the better linebackers in the NFL. I guess he did have 5 sacks and 4 sacks, so maybe you would hope for that out of Jaylon Smith, but I would also wonder if in the end, maybe it's Leighton Vander Esch who takes another step forward as well. From Andres Gonzalez, why not give Dak 4-year, $37 million deal? I assume you mean per year. I don't think Dak's at that amount. I think if you were to do a 4-year deal with Dak right now, I think it's actually less than 37 per year. Now, this average on screen right now is 35, which I think is around where the two sides are at. I think what the argument really is over is if from Dak's camp, just hypothetically, of course, here, is that Dax wants the 4-year deal at around 35, give or take $1 million or so. The Cowboys want a 5-year around 35 or so, and Dak's team's like, look, if we're doing a 5-year deal, we want to keep the structure we had from this 4-year deal. You guys can run the math. They want an extra $2 million per year. That's around 37 at that point. Oh, look, all of a sudden, it's around $45 million because Chris Sims stole his report, quote-unquote, from my show. All right, Destroyer Dog. If Jamal Adams is traded to the Cowboys, what do you think the Jets get back in return? Look, it does require the Jets to want to move Adams to the Cowboys because Adams wants to play in Dallas. The Jets don't want that. The Jets don't want to give in to Adams and send him to Dallas because they blame Dallas for this whole issue to begin with. So if the price isn't more expensive for Dallas, which I kind of think that it is, but if the price isn't more expensive, maybe it's around a first and a third, somewhere in that range. I think that makes a lot of sense for both sides. Now, speaking of Adams, who would you rather have? And I'll leave this up for a while because it's a good debate to have. Clowney or Adams? JC for Clowney, JA for Adams. From pure talent perspective, Adams is better, right? But remember what you're giving up here. If you get Adams, you are giving up a first-round pick, paying a big contract, and then some. If you get Clowney, maybe you only pay him, let's just say it's $15 million per year. We'll say the money's even for both of those guys in terms of the per-year deal. But if you sign Clowney to a 1-year deal, all of a sudden, you know what you're able to do? You get a third-round comp pick back for him, so you sign him and you get a pick. That makes some sense for the Cowboys. So it's a good debate to have, and I still see mostly JAs. I'd probably agree, but it's one to at least think about. All right, from Emil Patterson. Who has the most trade value on the Dallas Cowboys? Not Dak Prescott. It's fair. I want to say Zach Martin, but the offensive guard position isn't as highly valued. You probably still throw in CeeDee Lamb as a top 15 pick. Oh, should have been top 15 pick. Gallup's still pretty cheap. As weird as this might sound, I think I actually might go Lael Collins because that's a very team-friendly contract, and if a team were to trade for him, they'd be paying him even less than that. So, as weird as this might sound, factoring in the positional value, the contractual value, and how much time he has left on that deal, I actually think I might go Lael Collins or, of course, still Zach Martin. All right, from the bat, who to target next draft? I mean, let's see what the college football season looks like, right? I'm still going to be looking at the cornerback spot. I think that's going to be an area of focus. Safety, your top two guys are free agents. That's one I would strongly consider. So I'm looking defensive backfield more or less. I just think that is a path that the Cowboys should strongly consider doing. Another super chat from Kings Jay, then we'll get to the new one from Zeno as well. Can we acquire both Clowney and Adams? Sign Clowney to a 1-year deal. Adams' camp has said he wouldn't demand an extension right away in Dallas. It is hypothetically possible. I am of the belief that if you trade for Adams, you're better off paying him now because that will save you money in the long term. You can make it work. It would result in far less flexibility, and it does start to get into that area where is this really the best path that you want to end up going if you are an NFL team? Is that the best long-term path? It's a great all-in right now move that I would be okay with, but I'd probably try and sign Clowney, try and get him around 10. You have to do Dak as well. So if that is the route you go, that's your core. You've kind of locked it in extremely so and don't have much flexibility, which I believe Stephen Jones values more than we want to admit. Super chat now from Zeno once again. I can't understand why so many people hate on Dak. 2016, everyone said he's our future. Cut Romo. I was part of the small percentage that wanted Romo back in. Not sure if it was a small percentage. Or maybe it is, and it's just a vocal minority is involved there. Look, this is the nature of being the Cowboys quarterback. Until he wins a Super Bowl, this is still going to be the debate. We've treated Dak the exact same way that Romo got treated. And in a couple years, whenever the Dak era is over, we're going to go, geez, you know what? We had it really good. It wasn't the quarterback's fault. As I mentioned, today's show is brought to you by Manscaped. They've launched the Weed Whacker. It's the best nose and ear hair trimmer. Women do not like nose and ear hair because why would they? It's gross, it looks weird, it's not very attractive. So if you have it, or if your dad or grandpa has it and you don't want to be staring at that during family get-togethers, get rid of it. Trim it up. The Weed Whacker is 20% off at manscaped.com if you use promo code Cowboys. And don't worry, guys. I've got that link and that code in the comments, in the description for you guys as well. So if that is a problem you or a loved one has, now is the time to go take care of it. It's at manscaped.com, 20% off with promo code Cowboys. All right, Cale Felding, who is your dream opponent in a Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl? Somebody bad. Because I don't care who I play. Damn it, I just want to win. I don't care about, I want to have this great Cowboys-Steelers matchup. No, give me a bad team. I'd actually probably go for the Bengals on one hand because my whole family are Bengals fans except for me, and that would be cool to see. I'd probably try and go to the game. But then again, also, I don't want to see my entire family's hearts broken again because the Bengals lost the Super Bowl. So maybe I won't go Bengals. I'll just go crappy AFC team that somehow got in. From Noah freaking Watson. Do you think HaHa will make an impact on our defense? I think yes. The question is, of course, just how big of an impact will Clinton Dix end up having? I think he's going to be the free safety. He hasn't played much in the box. Xavier Woods will probably switch down to that quote-unquote strong safety role, but I think you'll see more split safeties, i.e. two guys back deep, two-man under looks, cover two looks, and Price in cover 4 looks as well. Less cover 3 for this team. I think he'll make an impact. There will be some times that you get frustrated by Clinton Dix just based on what he's done before in his NFL career. And I think there are going to be some times where he's like, yeah, there's an actual interception. So it'll be up and down. I think he'll be a good safety, just not an elite safety. From Eugene Schotz, or however you say that last name, Eugene. Will we have LVE back? I do think so. I think he'll be healthy, and you're kind of crossing your fingers saying, he'll be back, I think, and I hope, and he should be back because, well, we need him back there. And how good will our defense be this year? Look, my expectations are not high for this defense. It's just they haven't been very good historically under that Rod Marinelli scheme. They lost some key talent this year. I'm hoping for league average. If I get league average, I'm going to have a real shot to make the playoffs and maybe make a bit of a run as well. The 4th of July is almost here. So which is the better 4th of July food? Is it a hot dog? Is it a burger? Cast your votes for me. H for hot dog, B for burger. Producer Dylan, what are you going with? H or B? Dylan says burger. James, he says burger. Harrison, who can't hear me in the other room, H or B? Hot dog or burger? He says hamburger, so everyone goes burger. Someone put cereal in the comment section, and I don't understand that whatsoever. I think you can go either. Ooh, brat or burger. That's a good one, too. Brats are pretty good. Burger is always safer, so I'm going to type in my B as well. From King J, would Eric Reid fit this D if we can't get Adams? First off, you can't say D. You got to say defense, King J. I would be all for signing Eric Reid. Spoiler alert, coming out in a couple days, we'll take a look at some free agent targets the Cowboys could pursue. I like the idea of Eric Reid. I really do. Because I'm looking for a player at this stage in terms of like the NFL offseason. I am looking for someone who can play multiple roles for me. Can I find a player who can maybe play both safeties, or in Eric Reid's case, play linebacker too? That makes sense to me. So for the Cowboys, I'd be all for getting Eric Reid. All right, I go to that one, though. Go to it. I saw it. Go ahead and go to it. Because this always pops up like once every month or so. Please, producer Dylan. First off, not how you spell Dylan, my MB6 shooter gamer. Dylan's angry with you now. He might be blocked going forward. Sign destroying, cut Chris Jones. So for starters, yes, cut Chris Jones. I know that this is YouTube, so I know that some of you guys watch Destroying. For those of you who don't know who that is, that was the Central Florida kicker who had his YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure he still has his YouTube channel, and got NCAA shut it down, so he quit playing football. Donald De La Haye, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's not good. I'm sorry. That is just the reality. He's simply not good. I don't know why Dylan talk about punter Chris Jones, not defensive lineman Chris Jones. So good try there. Big L. Everyone type L in the comments for Dylan for mixing up the Chris Joneses. They're not going to pursue the YouTube kicker. I'm sorry. Andres Gonzalez, why isn't Snacks signed? I don't know. Money, injury, both? It's a little weird, right? Like, he should be signed by somebody. I'd go pursue it if I were the Cowboys. I'd take Damon Snacks Harrison over Antoine Woods. I know you guys like him. I do too, but Snacks is better. It's a little weird that several of these defensive guys remained unsigned. Troy Fulbright, who's the best corner we can sign or trade for? Secondary needs help. I mean, I'd love to go pursue a Patrick Peterson, but the guys we'd want aren't available right now. That's the nature of July in the NFL calendar. You're not going to be able to pull off a in most cases, there are exceptions. Sometimes Khalil Mack becomes available. You're not going to be able to find that guy. That's what the draft is for. So the Cowboys are going to try to survive with their cornerbacks this offseason, or this season. They're just going to try to survive, and then maybe they'll be able to continue to find some more help. Diggs will grow, and it's going to be more of a long-term thing than an overnight fix. Now, are you guys subscribed? Comment Y or N for me. I want to know who's actually subbed. We have 420 watchers live right now. It's a great number. Number is always growing. I see Rob is in Wild Try, Richard, and MB6 Shooter, who we just brought on, had his question up there. Dalton Kelly is and Wytry and Dag, of course, and Richard and Eugene. See, mostly Y is coming. I like that. If you're not subscribed, not entirely sure what you're waiting for. We're live every Thursday talking about the Cowboys, bringing on your questions as well. So if you're typing in N, you're kind of weird. Not sure why you're still watching. Hit that big red button and subscribe if you haven't already. From Chris Rendon, does Zeke go full 2016 mode this season? I want to say yes, but probably not. I'm not convinced the Cowboys will lean as heavily on Zeke in the way they did that season where they just kind of forced him the ball. I'd still argue a little bit too much. And frankly, if we're being honest, the offensive line isn't as good this year either. That 2016 offensive line was one of the best we've seen, at least in recent memory. This current Cowboys offensive line, still good. Not quite at that 2016 level, though. And I think you've seen Zeke do a great job of maximizing his runs in terms of making sure he doesn't lose yardages, but I need to see more explosion out of him this year. Zachary Marquez, would you trade Tristan Hill for Zach Gentry? Wow, what world am I living in right now? No. I don't think. I know Gentry went, it was 2019, I think it was. I think that's what it was. 5th round, the Michigan tight end. Zach Gentry isn't better than Dalton Schultz. He's not better than Blake Bell. So why am I trading for a number 4 tight end? I think what makes more sense for the Cowboys, and I appreciate the super chat, Zachary, is trade Hill for a pick. I don't really think Gentry's going to move the needle very much for an NFL team in terms of helping you out. I don't think that's a likely path right there. I don't even remember if Gentry, I think he was 1 catch last year. That was it. Like a couple yards. So I'm open to trading Tristan Hill, not for another middling backup tight end. I would much rather trade him instead for just a draft pick and try to go that route. There's a little bit more wild card involved, right? All right, from Bruce, why has Randy Gregory not been reinstated? Great question. Don't know. Not sure we'll know until Gregory gets reinstated. We've played this game with Randy before. Maybe he hasn't been able to meet in person with the commissioner. Certainly possible given the whole situation we're in right now in the world. So maybe that's why. I don't have a great answer for you. I wish I did. We'll just have to wait and see. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.